to ancientherbalcare.com for all your skincare needs. That's ancientherbalcare.com. Link is at the top line of the description. To talk about that and give our opinion on that. But let's start up with this R. Kelly thing, and then we'll jump to that and then finish up with the review, right. Jungle Rules, right? So yeah, R. Kelly, man, it's been a long time since we've been talking about this, bro. Probably 3-4 years going on. And we finally found out yesterday that R. Kelly, was found guilty on all counts, and he's looking at a maximum of life in prison. And it's just a lot to unpack with this. But before I go in, Sam, man, I want to hear your thoughts on what do you think about finally the verdict coming through. R. Kelly is guilty in the eyes of the law.
So a lot of layers to this, a lot of layers. And a lot of people may be upset at me, but I need everybody to get their emotions in order, get them in control. And let's look at this layer for layer. Now, on a personal level, I firmly believe this man did some things that were wrong. I think he did some things with some females, some girls underage that were wrong. When you look at the verdict and you see him guilty on all 9 counts of racketeering and sex trafficking, and you look at those charges, right? So now let's break this down. Racketeering, that's like a criminal organization. You're the leader of something. There's people in line. There's a whole team there. And typically, and correct me if I'm wrong, people out there that are going to watch, aren't there other people involved that get taken down with the boss? It's not just the boss.
Usually,
right?
Right.
All I hear is R. Kelly right now. That bothers me. It bothers me a lot. Because when you look at the situation, yes, personally, I think that there were some things he did wrong. And I think that he does deserve punishment for those things that he did wrong, whatever they are, because everybody can make speculation, but we don't know if we were not there. Right. Only people that know are them girls, R. Kelly, and potentially the parents involved, the team around him involved, his management, the circle. And I ask you, oh God, I ask the people out there, I asked anybody, why aren't those people held accountable as well? It makes me very sick to my stomach that you got one man that is being charged with racketeering and sex trafficking. You put those two things on him, and just one man is being taken down when there had to be a team involved. You talk about a man that's illiterate, allegedly can't read, can't write, but can control a whole organization of underage females for over 2 decades, 3 decades at a time by himself. That rubs me the wrong way, and they need to be held more accountable.
I think a lot of the times, man, what happens is, and first let me put this out there before I give my statement on it. Sympathetic to any victims out there, if there were any victims, male or female. We don't condone that underage thing. But it looks kind of suspicious. Like when you look at the FBI, and we've seen this a lot of times, like when they got their target on somebody, they're going to make this thing seem like it's bigger than what it really is. Like he's running this organization when it probably could have been just isolated incidences where he had different situations. They making it seem like this was like a, criminal, or like you said, criminal organization. This was sought out to do this, moving kids across state lines and all this type of thing because they wanted him for whatever reason. And maybe it has to do with him getting off before. Yeah. Who knows? But, I do believe we see with the Aaliyah thing, but others, that he did do some things. Obviously, we understand that 110, 20%. But like I was saying in my video yesterday, I wonder if the judge will have any sympathy because we had, I think, Empowered Esquire. She was talking about this. Sometimes a judge could be sympathetic knowing that, the person who was doing what he was doing, it also happened to them. So the reason I'm saying it is like, is it a situation where, the judge can say, okay, maybe he did it, not to give it any excuse. Maybe, he was sick like this or did this because somebody, touched on him when he was a kid. I'll definitely want to see that particular aspect of it. But I don't know if this is a witch hunt. I don't know that. But when you're looking at the FBI, even look, ARAB, Umi and the Hellcat, they make the situation seem like it's bigger so they can get the conviction. So they got to put all this stuff in there. Okay, so he took a girl from here to here one time. Okay, interstate trafficking. Oh, he did this, right? He moved this money here to here. Okay, money laundering. That's kind of, what they're put here to do to make something bigger than what it is. I want to move over to this, Sam, man, because Freddie Gibbs, today he went on and said on his, he tweeted, Elvis should have been jailed too. Since R. Kelly, is facing life, how come Elvis wasn't, convicted and locked up and all that. And even with how he's viewed, and I'll turn it over to you right after this, even how Elvis is viewed compared to how now R. Kelly is viewed. It's like, all right, Elvis did this, R. Kelly did this. One person's a god and one person's a devil.
I'm glad you put that in there. I'm glad you put that perspective in there, because when you initially listen to what Freddie Gibbs said, and this is no disrespect to Freddie Gibbs, because I got all the respect in the world for the brother and appreciate his music, but I disagree with the statement simply because we as a people got to stop condoning our fucked up shit and trying to put somebody else up there too. Fuck that heathen. Fuck that animal. He's not alive anymore. And yes, he does deserve to be demonized as the vile person he is. Absolutely, for sure. There needs to be a documentary on how he did all these disgusting things. If we have one on Michael Jackson when he's not alive, if we could talk about Prince's name when he's dead and not alive, when we can go ahead and talk about all of our various celebrities and stars and legends and try to throw dirt on their name as they're dead and not alive and no longer here to defend themselves. Elvis Presley equally deserves that smoke or that work. But I don't want to put in comparison, okay, he did wrong, but why did he didn't do wrong? And I'm glad you said what you said, because I believe that's what Freddie Gibbs was kind of alluding to in the tweet, and kind of misconstrayed maybe some feelings he had. But
right,
you know what I'm saying? We already know what this is about, bro. Mm-hmm. They've done it since the beginning of fucking time. You see what's going on even in the NBA. It was making me laugh. I don't know if you peeped it with the whole vaccination thing. And I'm not trying to jump off course. I want to stay with R. Kelly, but how they try to control us. If you don't get vaccinated in New York, you're not allowed to play. They own Kyrie Irving. Now you got Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and Stephen A. Smith saying that these players need to be fired. They need to be traded. They need to be this. They need to be that. If they're not going to listen to their bosses and all this shit. We just see how they try to openly emasculate us time after time after time after time, and it's the same old song. So it doesn't surprise me that they're not doing it to Elvis. They damn sure need to, but it doesn't surprise me. And I don't know.
Yeah, and then man, like with the whole, like Jay-Z said in his Grammy Family freestyle years ago, the same sword they knight you with, they can good night you with. That's what, like, the media. So especially a black dude. Like, yeah, they'll tear their own down too, for sure. You know what I mean? They might be more apprehensive. They might give a little more excuses, and people are going to defend people. But, once you're out the window, you're out the window. But if you black, it's a double whammy. Like, all right, let's take this. Let's destroy this dude. Let's take this dude down. Let's turn him into dust before the whole world. And that's just the way it is. We got countless examples of that. But the question I want to pose, to the people as we continue to unpack this is, now that the verdict's in, you had R. Kelly. He did put out a statement, and I'll read that real quick. He said, "To all my fans and supporters, I love you all. Thank you for all your support. Today's verdict was disappointing, and I will continue to prove my innocence and fight for my freedom." So he's continuing to maintain that he's innocent. And that, it may not mean nothing to some people, but some people that means something too. Yeah. You got people running with, oh, he got this and that, and I think he's innocent. You're always going to have that no matter what. But my question would be to the people in the U is, now that he's found guilty, are we throwing away his music? Are we throwing away his contribution?
That is the toughest pill to swallow in all of this, because a lot of people will. You won't hear his music on the radios anymore. You won't hear. They will try to throw away a catalog of work that is iconic. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean, arguably the greatest R&B singer of all time with the greatest R&B catalog. You could throw other names in there, but if you don't have R in there, you're tripping.
Yeah.
So I personally am not going to throw away his music.
Uh-oh.
I personally am not. Now, do I sit back and listen to R. Kelly on the daily? I can't say that I do.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not out here bumping his music, and I'm not out here definitely not going to bump it today or any louder.
If you're getting married, don't step in the name of love. Come on. We stepping in the name of love.
My wife might get pissed, but I'll be dancing like a motherfucker. You can play I Believe I Can Fly and all them other shits too. We good to go. Maybe not some of the sex songs now that everything's going on. I might not fall on that level, but if me and the wife is in the right place and 12 play come on, I'm following direction. So, I mean, I don't know, man.
It's rough because we don't really know. I mean, when he was in these songs or making these songs, was he doing it? Was he talking about a young? We can't assume that.
Right.
You know what I mean? At the end of the day, and like his contribution is his contribution, and I think that there should be some sort of a separation. Even like you said, some people are going to banish him, not listen, and act all crazy about it, and take him off of this and take him off of that. Who knows? Hopefully, they probably end up taking this. Not hopefully, but they'll probably end up taking the stuff off like Spotify,
see that happen.
Tidal, and stuff like that. So if you got them hard copies now,
think about how scary that is. Think about how much control people have now. If they take you off of these streaming services, where is people going to listen to your music? And how? In a car? Where? They ain't got CD players like that and shit in the car unless you got a 98 Civic. They ain't got no CD. Where's the last time you see this fucking CD player?
Right.
I don't see them anymore.
Yeah.
It's weird.
NFT, maybe NFTs. I don't know. Something. I mean, yeah, that'd be crazy. But nah, it might... Who knows? Maybe it might throw it like, let's say if they took it away and somebody had the NFT or whatever of it, right, you can buy it. That might be worth fucking $1 million for an R. Kelly song or something like that.
Oh my God.
Somebody gonna take that idea and run with it. But nah, it's already gone. But nah, I think that'll be dope though. But at the end of the day, man, I just think it's, you know, if he done all the stuff that they said that he did or whatever, man, obviously, you know, I feel like it is just a bad, you know, disgusting thing to do. But I'm not going to sit up here and act like, and we can't sit up here and act like we ain't seen this narrative over and over as far as like, not to say it was right, but girls in high school dealing with older cats, you know what I mean? People coming to pick them up. It ain't start with R. Kelly. It's not going to end with R. Kelly at the end of the day. It's terrible. It's nasty, but everybody kind of just seen it. And the last part I want to talk about is, you kind of alluded to it earlier. We talked about like the people. Nobody went down with him. We got to condemn the people around him, not because they didn't go down, but because they didn't say anything. Like, you're sitting here and you're complicit and you're seeing this going on. You know something, you see something, you say, you know what? Nah, he's paying my salary. You know what? Nah, that ain't my business. And I think that's wrong as well.
Yeah, damn right. And I'm going to close on saying that as well, kind of extended on what you just said. Shame on them parents that threw their daughters out there in the name of fame, knowing good and goddamn well this dude has some disgusting rumors going on about him well over 3 decades. You had OGs like Big Git talking about it in his lyrics well over first Lil Jon album, talking about how nasty R. Kelly was and all that. People knew what was going on. And if people knew on the outside what was going on, people damn sure knew what was going on the inside. Damn the people in his circle that watched this go down and said nothing because they were getting paid to get to be comfortable and do what they had to do, so they turned a blind eye. Damn his management team if he was sick for not getting this man some fucking help and showing him some love and knowing he had a problem for preying on little girls, if that's in fact what he was doing. Right. There's a lot of other people involved in this. When we talk about children, we want to put the children on a pedestal and act like we care, but we're only going after the one dude that allegedly did all of these acts. And I put the quotes on there because we don't know how deep this shit goes. We weren't there. You know what I'm saying? But it's wrong. It has a nasty taste, and them people around him and them parents deserve accountability as well.
How long do you see him getting?
That's a good question. I'm going to ask you too.
Yeah, how long do you see R. Kelly getting, man? How long?
I personally see them throwing a book at this dude. And the reason why is because he got off the first time. And I think public opinion is very strong. And I think the media is very strong. And we've been covering this for years. And we've had various people talking about it. They've had social media influence. And the consensus is, the percentage is, they want to see this dude go down. Yeah. And I think they're going to please the people in this situation. And I think it plays a big influence. And I think I don't want to throw an exact number out there, but I will say, as uncomfortable as this is for me to say, because of his status in music, not because of what he did, I think he's going to die in jail.
Yeah. I was going to say he probably, you know, get out when he's almost on his deathbed. You know what I mean? I think that's definitely, you know, I see him getting about maybe 20, 25. And he's like 54 years old now, so he ain't getting out till he's damn near 80. If he even, like you said, lives that long. Yeah. He fuck around and pass away in prison because of all, you know, the stress and all that. But, you know, and the end of a legacy, I would like to, you know, hear what people got to say in the comments. You know, are you guys throwing away his music? Are you still rocking with his music? You know, do you think he's innocent still? Because I know you're going to have that group of people that's going to still think that he is innocent despite being, you know, tried by the court of law, you know, and found guilty. But a lot of people that we brought on the show, I don't know if you peeped this, Power Esquire and Patty Jackson, they said he's going to go down. Yeah. And they was right. Yeah. They was definitely right.
Yeah. So and here it is. We find out R. Kelly's fate for good, and we'll take it from there.